Karl, what do you think? Can we remain individuals when we are in a couple relationship?
And I think it's essential for individuals to be an individual within a relationship. And I'll tell you why, because the way maybe I see it, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I see as in a relationship there'll be two individuals that we can see them as two circles going in two separate directions, but they intersect in the middle, so it's almost like this.
So,
And there's a space in between, and that is the relationship. But essentially, we need to be our own individual because
but do you think it actually happens? Don't you see sometimes some couples
yeah,
become enmeshed
yeah,
and they go everywhere
yeah,
together
yeah.
and almost have no separate life outside the couple?
I think it's a very easy position to take because, and it's I think something which quickly builds up, and automatically without fighting it, this what you're saying can actually happen. However, I think if we make a conscious effort and before getting into the relationship, by appreciating our own individuality, going into a relationship and saying, listen, this is me, this is who I am, and I intend to remain to meet myself. So and okay, so we're gonna meet together. We're going to be in a relationship, but what are the conditions and what are our boundaries together?
Yes.
So having our rules of listen, this is my time, this is our time. My identity as an individual is not going to change to enmesh with yours. We're not
Yes.
going to become almost one person where you're going to see me, you're going to see my partner.
But I feel sometimes it's difficult when you're living with someone, especially, and you see each other every day or twice a day. When you're raising a family,
Sure.
it's difficult to maintain. We change.
Sure.
We can't. I'm not the same person I was when I was 20. So even as individuals in couples, we evolve.
Sure.
We change, and that is a good thing.
Sure.
Um, and sometimes I think, how can I remain an individual in a couple, and maybe how can I keep my values separate from my partners, and but in the same time we somehow meet and we discuss and we can agree not to disagree at times, because it's healthy. Yes.
Yes, and as I'm hearing you talk about this, and I'm understanding maybe this should come from both people. I think before getting into the relationship, this is an idea that comes from both people, because if it comes from just one person, then the other person might not agree.
So you suggest like some ground rules,
Yes.
like
Yes.
the importance of still staying in contact with
Yes.
friends, and
Yes.
the importance of having maybe separate hobbies.
Yeah. I mean, having joint hobbies is
Yes.
good as well, but also having you time is very essential for the individual in order to help the individual to think about himself or herself, to understand where the person wants to go with his life and where he wants to go or she wants to go with her family or his family.
My fear in that instance would be if we stay too much as
Apart.
individuals, and if we spend too much time apart,
Sure.
can that lead to us having problems in the relationship?
I mean,
So I think it's a very fine balance.
it is a fine
actually.
line, and I think for each couple it will be different. I don't think it's the same for each dynamic. I think every couple has to have an agreement between them, see what they're comfortable with, see what they expect from both parties, and then come to some sort of conclusion together where we're understanding. Listen, I need to spend 2 hours a week by myself doing my cycling or doing my guitar instrument, or these type of things help, because ultimately time alone will help you appreciate time with the family
Yes.
more.
And I think we also need to acknowledge that we evolve as individuals and we evolve as couples,
Yes.
and our needs will change.
Yes.
So if the couple are still don't have kids and decide not to have kids, their relationship and their individual time can be spent in one way. If kids come along, if they decide to start a family, then individual time has to take a different aspect, because then there are other dependents. So
Sure.
so I think it evolves with time and with age and with the development of the relationship as well.
I agree with you on this regard, because maybe I don't know if individual time can be taken. Maybe I can go for like 2 hours with the kids, whilst my partner is at home doing whatever she wants to do.
Yes.
So I guess it's a very exclusive thing for each couple to understand
It's
and
a
make
very
a decision.
exclusive thing, and I think also the balance is very fine, because there's so much to do as a couple, as individuals, so many activities. If kids come along, there are their activities to look at, and we finish up as taxi drivers, and so to carve individual time and couple time sometimes can be a challenge.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess as the generations progress, maybe things will change as well within their own right, right? So as I'm hearing all of this, how can we what can we give as a tip to the audience maybe?
I always believe, I'm such a huge fan of communication. Just sit down, discuss anything that is really upsetting you in the relationship. Speak up and say that you need the time alone. Discuss how it can be worked in the timetable.
Cool.
And after all, I do believe that a healthy individual and can give much more to a couple than one who is dependent
Yes.
constantly
Yes.
on his partner for approval and for entertainment and for
Yes.
to fill up the timetable. So doing things separately can be very healthy for a relationship.
Cool. I mean, it's almost like, you spend too much time together, almost like you're taking away from each other.
Yes.
Or rather than, and then the alone time, you'd fill it back up, fill up the energy to, and then give back
Yes.
to your partner. As I was hearing you talk about speaking to each other, I was reading some research which actually says that you should treat a relationship almost like every 3 months you have a meeting, like a 3-month meeting,
Yes.
and you discuss, listen, are we still on the same page with this idea, with this
It can
idea?
be not. It can. It's because it sounds very formal. It sounds almost business-like.
Sure.
It can be a date night.
Sure.
That you say, listen, we need to dedicate one date night a month to discuss how the relationship is going, what is our way forward as individuals and as a couple. And I was reading some literature earlier on. Actually, it is very healthy that this is discussed, and that is an individual invests in himself or herself to give to their partner. So it's a win-win situation, really.
Okay, so to sum up, what we discussed was that as in a couple, it's important to take time for ourselves, even as the relationship develops, maybe kids come about. It's always good to take some time to reflect and to understand each other, both ourselves and our partners. And also, if there are any issues, always communicate with each other at any given point about both ourselves as an individual and both as a relationship. Are we still on the same plan? Do we have still the same vision of where we want to go? And then take it from there.
Yes, and I agree, Karl. And I would add as well that it does feel good for a person to invest in their own education, in their own sports, and in their own time, because we are individuals first and foremost before becoming a couple. And
so true.
I don't think it's fair to expect that our partner provides our entertainment all the time, supports us all the time. I think we need to be open to other people and
they can't fulfill every role, no?
Yes.
So fair enough.
Thank you.
Thanks a
That
lot.
was an interesting discussion. Thank you.
You too.